team, it's your boy Mr. Fitspiration, Mr. Fitspiration, your boy. And this has been a long time coming, this has been, but I am here. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm going to look after your needs in the most knowledgeable and creative way possible. And to kick things off, team, today I'm taking you behind the scenes to how I create my Insta workouts that you all love and enjoy. Yes, you love and enjoy. My Insta, by the way, is Mr. Fitspiration. Make sure you get on top of that. And I'm going to answer all the questions you have asked me so far while we get going. Woo! So first things first, we've got to get to our destination. Now when it comes to lighting, it's always good to get some good lighting. I've been training people at some park, local. So we're going to drive there. While we drive there, I'm going to answer some of your questions. Question number one, how did I get into fitness? Well, fitness has always been part of my life, as cliche as it sounds. I've been playing sports for as long as I can remember. And then I took particular interest in football, as many guys do. And just playing football was my thing, playing 40-foot at home with the guys on the block. And loads of different games. And then I've continued sort of keeping myself fit just as I play in sports. Then it got to the stage where I started to get little injuries, the whole cliche, knee done, whatever. I really done my ankle at the age of, 17, 18? I needed to get fitter to continue to play football. So that's when I first entered sort of a gym aspect, and I was working with a trainer, and the trainer was just like, oh, you got to do these things on your own. I'm not always going to be here with you. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but at the moment, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I guess I built a love gradually through getting fitter to continue to play my sport. So if you want to take it back from what we all know now in terms of having a goal in mind to doing whatever you can to achieve that goal, and fitness is what I needed at the time. And then from there, I just sort of went into the whole fitness criteria. I was working within leisure centers for a while. While playing football, I studied my sports coaching, and with my sports coaching, it took me into different schools, and I was doing what they know as sort of sports coaching. And as a sports coach, yeah, I was amazing. Toot my horn, you know, I was amazing because I've always had patience with children. And I just used everything I'd learned in terms of playing football and different sports in schools, using it in the most creative way imaginable to allow these kids to be entertained while working on the functionalities of their body. Then I took it to the seniors when I went to the leisure centers. I took it into sort of working with older people. We had more communication values and more just getting them moving, that kind of thing happening. And then one of my friends went into sort of sales, selling PTs, PT courses should I say, and he's like, you know what, I've got a discount for you. When I hear discount, I'm like, you know what, I can take that on. So the discount was to get me my level 2 and 3, which is what I went on and done. And since then, I've just continued to educate myself. And because of the numerous injuries I've had to sort of pick up another side of things. So I do a lot of rehab and prehab, a lot of physical therapy. I've got a massive interest in that side of training, physical therapy, because I'm a believer that if your health is top notch, that's your mind, your gut, and your joints and the muscles, everything good, you're going to be consistent. If you're consistent, then aesthetically, you will get to where you want to be. If you target something for the summer and it's January, but you do it in a rash way, in March, you're going to hurt yourself. And it's going to be a breakdown, and you won't be able to continue. Now, we don't want that. That's why I'm a health and wellness coach team. And in the most creative and knowledgeable way possible, I'm going to allow you to be the best you. Question number 2. Have I got any other interests? Now, sports and fitness is me, but I've got interest in a lot of things. I don't know what doesn't intrigue me, because everything has sort of intertwines into one. I like to use everything in my delivery of sports and fitness, but if we're talking about politics, I'm well intrigued about what's happened and that's not out there in terms of the education of the young people. But in terms of just me, I just like to be entertained. I used to be a heavy console person, and I'm not anymore. Yes, see, we have landed. It is good. We thank God for the journey. Anyway, I've scoped the spot. I know the area pretty well, but obviously it being what day it is, I've got to make sure that there's not many people around. Not because of fear, but you know, I don't want people in my scope in there. I don't want people watching me, but I don't want them to get into the footage in there. They don't know where it's going to go. They've got disclaimers and all. But yes, now I'm going to grab my kit out the car. Not too much body weight stuff, you know what I mean? Everyone's got body weight. If you don't have equipment, you can use it. And then I'm gonna find my space and plug you in. Whew, yes team, finally found the location. Nobody's around, so a few people on the other side. But just to show you what I've got, camera. Need that to get the footage in. Need to home it somewhere, so I've got my stand. Stand's very important also. And then I've got a mat and some equipment in my bag, which I probably won't use today, but I always carry the equipment. But yes team, nothing to do now, let's get this work. Preparation is key to ensure that all is well. Sometimes in life you have to be your own director, producer, editor, and stuntman, and actor or actress. But we move. As I take a break in between the scheduled programming, I'm going to ask the question number 2. I'm taking a breather, it's not. Oh, I'm affordable, I'm always affordable. Everyone's affordable, right? This is just to go on my social media. So this is for people to follow and do at home or whatever. It's just Mr. Fitspiration.
Mr. Fitspiration.
Let's go for a walk.
Yeah,
Maybe. See ya. Whew. So question number 2 was, how do I get rid of knee pain? Now, I couldn't tell you that without assessing, but in all my studies, all my research, when reading other stuff, I'm putting things into practice. Knee pain, 9 times out of 10, especially when it comes from you walking upstairs, jumping up and down, with all the HIIT stuff we're doing right now, pandemic time, knee pain can really kick in. What you really want to focus on is your ankle in terms of its mobility. You want to be able to dorsiflex at good range, and your hips. You want to be able to internally and externally rotate. You want to be able to sit in a deep squat with the heels nice and flat, feeling all good. So there are plenty things you can do in and around sort of hips and the ankles. Now knee pain comes from above and below. The actual knee isn't the problem 9 times out of 10, unless you need surgery or had any injury. Now I'm talking, seeing how, if I can do push-ups all the way through. Anyway, so with those knee injuries, you want to focus on your ankle dorsiflexion and your hip internal and external rotation. That means outwards and inwards movement of the legs freely. If you haven't got free movement around the hips, you need to loosen them up. I'm going to stop. I'm tired. If you haven't got free movement around the ankle, you want to be able to get your ankle to a position where you can push forward, keeping that heel nice and flat. You want to be able to get your hip into positions like your 1990, feeling comfortable the whole way through. Plenty more exercises. You can find them on my Instagram, Mr. Fitspiration. All right, and I'll be putting plenty more on my YouTube as we go ahead. Now, T, I'm tired. You see this whole behind the scenes thing? It's not easy. You don't just see 1 minute of workouts. I get sweat on. Do about 3, 4 for the week. I always prepare myself on a weekend for uploads in the week because it makes sense. I can't do a workout every day for you guys and live my best life. So that doesn't work. But heading back to the knee, make sure you work above in terms of mobility and below in terms of mobility. That in turn looks after the knee in terms of support of the joint, and overall strengthen those quads and those hamstrings for nice support. Now I couldn't tell you exactly what is wrong, but in general it's just high impact stuff, so we need things to be looser, and that's when we talk about your health of the body team. If your health is good, then your consistency remains, and then you can get aesthetically. See what I did there? This is all about just checking you're in the right position, really, you know, readjusting things. That's my set. Easy. The most annoying thing about filming alone and being director, coordinator, producer, editor, and all that kind of stuff is having to go back and forth from the camera, which is cardio itself, to ensure you are in shot. Hey, but we move, innit? We move. Whew. So we've come to the end of shoot one. I tend to try and do 4 or 5 workouts for you guys over the course of one day. Spread it through the week in terms of exposure. Editing's done pretty simple, so I don't complicate the editing because I like the content to be seen and not distracted when you're copying and doing your thing. Sometimes I'll also go and change, magically just change, but not today. It's hard doing this by yourself. You know what? Somebody asked me, question number 3 or 4, what other interests do you have? And I'm very, very interested in sort of movie making, directing, designing, creating things. Deadly moments. Coming back to the camera to see what you've been doing and whether it's good enough. And if you're very picky like me, you end up going back and forth a lot of times. Whether it's part of my sport and fitness and wellness, I don't know, you make up your minds, but very, very interested in this kind of stuff. And I like to do it all on my own. Maybe sometimes at my own hindrance, but for now, it's okay. It's okay. Also into sort of budgeting. I'm very nonchalant in terms of money, so over the past months, let's say, taking a keen eye. Pandemic has saved me a lot of money, that's for sure. And I read a lot of books. Well, I used to read a lot of books. Now I listen. Audiobooks, thank goodness for technology. Audiobooks are key. I listen to music, but I listen to mixes. So my music on my journeys, whether I ride, cycle, drive, always a little headspace, a little podcast from someone, whatever sort of the topic, I'm on it. On it like Sonic, isn't that what they say? But the shoot was successful. Can't show you all the content from the shoot, you know, then what would be the point of doing my Instagram? But, ladies and gentlemen, we move. So, we are on to the next. On to the next. So far, so good. Quickly, before I leave this destination, my next question was, how do I remain so consistent? And in terms of that, I couldn't give you the best answer. That's gonna sort of resonate with you. But my consistency lies due to my passion. And with passion, as long as you understand, passion is going to bring massive challenges. A lot of people think once you find your passion, you are not going to suffer. Now that's one lie. If you are willing to suffer for what you believe you are injected to do in your passion, then it really is your passion. You must suffer for your passion for it to become successful. Wow. Let that sink in. So my consistency is down to me knowing that this is something that I really, really enjoy. And you have to take in the pros and the cons of whatever it is. There are always cons. And believe it or not, if you understand the value it has towards you, then you'll get through it. You understand it. You have a why to what you are doing. So I'm using fitness. I don't have an end goal in terms of how I look, but how I feel. I always want to have the energy to provide, whether it provide for myself in terms of other stuff, provide for others in terms of mental or physical capacity. I want to have the energy and the mental capacity to do that. So I want to learn to help people gain knowledge. So I want to share that knowledge. And if that means me having sleepless nights, I know if I tell one person something and they take in one line out of 1 million I said, I'm nice, but that's me. So my consistency comes from my passion. My passion comes from my suffering. And see, every day we suffer, but it's a good suffering. Never take that sort of emotion as a bad thing. Never take that sort of feeling as a bad thing. Work within it and let it do what it does while you do what you do. On to the next destination, ladies and gentlemen. God will bless us as we go. Amen. Yes, team, so it comes down to the editing. The editing I will do over the course of the week. Hope you've enjoyed a little sneak peek behind the scenes with myself. I've answered questions and I will answer many, many more questions. As they say on all YouTubes, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.